Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. Today is day 26 of 30 days of sketches, and this is day 26's sketch. It has 3 pictures, some paper layering and a tag, a banner, a title, and then today with Scraptember is mixed metals. So this comes from Laura Alberts and the Scrappy Sisters, and the sketch comes from Christy's Beautiful Life. And this is what we have to work with. So I am working on my very last 4th of July from 2021 layout. And just like with the 4th of July, I'm finishing it off with a layout of some of my fireworks pictures. So I think I can cut these down perfectly to fit in what looks like a 4x4 picture. And with the mixed metals, I am definitely going to introduce these 3 distress mica sprays in tarnished brass, brushed nickel, and antique bronze. And then I have these scraps that I would love to use up, but I'm not really sure how much of them I can use, but I'm going to do my very best. And then I have these stickers and embellishments, lots of fireworks that I want to use up. I created this out of stickles. When I first got stickles, I was experimenting on like how much pressure to use and things like that. So I made this American flag. That doesn't have to get used. I can use that in my husband's military book. But I definitely want to try and get as many of these firework ones in there, because I'm pretty sure I'm mostly caught up to firework pictures. So I know I will not be using all of these, but I would like to use these so they aren't going to get torn up laying around in my stash. So, and then I have these 2 bigger papers that I believe will be my layers and some borders. So I've got some Karen Foster. I've got some stickabilities. This says, I have no idea. Oh, NRN Designs. I have no clue where I got this, but it was on sale for 50 cents wherever I got it. And then these are Miss Elizabeth's, which is from the dollar store. And this is PSX Designs. I apologize for all the noise in the background. My husband is talking to our dog. So, with all of this and this awesome sketch and these really cool and just kind of cool pictures, we will see what we can accomplish and add some mixed metals in, and maybe even add some other kind of metals. We shall see what happens. So let's get started. All right, so I am cutting down my pictures, and they did end up working out perfectly in a 4x4. So it still encompasses all the fireworks and only cut out either the darkness in the sky or that massive amount of grass in the one picture of the ground display. So now that I have my pictures cut down, I'm going to try and get my layers situated. And I pull out my Creative Memories trimmer. And this paper that I am using right now is very interesting. It is not actual paper. It is, let me get the whole thing out. It is embroidery paper. So it is by Paper Studios, and it is called B&W Stars. And I got it on clearance for 16 cents because I thought it was really cool, and it's dated from 2010. So I love using up my old stash. So I trimmed that down. I've cut some of it off because the top layer is not 11 inches, which is how long this would have been. So I cut about 3 inches off. So it was now about 2 inches off. And so it is about 9 inches. And then I trimmed that strip of the red. Now you notice I only trimmed one under piece because I have plans for the other one. So this one I want the stars on the top because I think they're neat. And of course stars should be up in the sky and not on the ground. And it is flush against the left side. So I consider this, but one, it is off-white, and two, when it's that black stars on top of it, you can't even see any of the things it says. So my idea was to use these borders instead, because it's one of the sheets that I have in my Please Use Me Up stash, and I felt like it would be a good something a little different, so both sides aren't exactly the same. And the red in the star paper is definitely more of a burnt colored red, and the red in the borders is bright red. But I'm okay with that. So I get all that figured out, set it aside, and get out my mica mist that I showed you in the beginning of the video and get started. Now, I left this part in because I feel like everyone needs to understand that accidents happen and we can just work with them. And so that's what happened. 2 little boo-boos right here. One, I got out my first mica mist, which was the brushed pewter. And I shook it up and opened it, and I felt like it wasn't shook up enough, so I closed it, shook it again, and whoops, it somehow splattered. So those little drops you saw on the page before I splattered was a boo-boo, but that's okay. And then I put some down on the packaging and did the smush technique to where it looks kind of like fireworks. And I did it with the pewter, I did it with the tarnished brass, and I did it with the antique bronze. So it's all these different metal colors, and I love the way that it turned out. And I did put it specifically in places where I felt like it would be seen, and I didn't waste a whole lot. Some of it obviously gets covered, but that's okay. So I laid down the papers on the left side the way that I see them in the sketch, and then I determine where the right side's going to go and lay down these borders. Now I don't want it to be 12 inches because they're not in the sketch. So I cut about 2 inches, give or take, on the banners and leave those behind on my sticker sheets. So I have those going on here. And then after I get the first set of them, then I rotate and do the next set. So I did start with the blue so that the different reds would be further apart. But like I said, I'm not upset about it because I will come in a little while and add something that is closer to the red in the borders than in the star paper. So it will bring that over to the other side. So I am all good with that. There's lots of reds and blues, and I'm all right with that. So I get these down, and I leave the inside of the paper unattached because I don't know where I'm going to be splattering. I don't know where I'm going to be tucking. So I figure I would leave the outside, well, I guess it's the inside, the 2 inside spots untacked down until I was 100% sure that I was done with any kind of tucking. So now I'm trying to determine what I want to mat my pictures on because it's on a black paper, so I don't want to mat it on black, but there's white in that paper, so I don't really know what I'm going to about white. So I end up matting it in white and then getting out my Stampabilities stamps pads and inking the corner or the outside of them in red and blue. And then the one that's fully matted on the black star, I just leave white. So they're red, white, and blue. And I determine where they're going to go and just literally take the ink pad and go right around on the page. I love doing that. It's super easy, unless you're trying to be super cautious about where the ink goes, which then I would use a dauber, but I didn't feel like changing them out. And these ink pads are Stampabilities that I got at Hobby Lobby, and they are normally $9.99, and I got them when the stickability and stampability items were 50% off, like they usually are every other week. And so I got it for like $5. So, and there are 12 different stamps in the set of all the rainbow colors and a few extra shades. So I am okay with using them in that manner. So now I am trying to decide how to make the banner that they have in the sketch. It goes from picture 2 to picture 3 if you're looking left to right. And I was trying to figure out the best way to get that to fit the theme of what I'm doing. So I looked at those stickers that came off the border page, and I wasn't sure if that was going to do the trick because they're awful big, and if I cut them in half or in part, the space between picture 2 and 3 is super tight, and I didn't think that that would work. So I set those aside, felt like I'd be done with those. So then there's this tag up on the right layers of papers. And so I decided to use this red and white striped scrap that I have, and it's distressed, so I'm good with that. And I cut that down and just tuck it in there, and then I'm trying to line up where the pictures are going to go so I know how far down I can put that little tag, because I don't want it to be too high, because then it's going to cover some of those really neat splotches that I created with the mica mists. So I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the top right of the splattering, or not the splatters, but the mica mist, and down in the middle have some blue in them. Let me just tell you that the brushed pewter does not have blue in it. The packaging that I used to do the smush technique still had leftover blue on the package. I did not notice because it was just kind of a little bit. I hadn't wiped it down, and so we got a little blue in our fireworks, and I'm okay with that. There are blue in my fireworks on these pictures, so that is fine. It still has the pewter and the bronze and the whatever the other color is. I can't remember. They're sitting right here in front of me. Oh, the brass. Sorry. Okay, so I get all of that tucked in, and the pictures mostly tacked down. And like I said, I leave the pictures on the inside untaped down. The middle picture is fully taped because it's not going to have anything tucked in underneath it. So, and that is my base, and pictures are gonna stay the way they are. So I put this firework down from a stickability set, and I think this is a good border, or a good banner. This is gonna go from one picture to the other, and this firework is going off in that far right picture, so it's gonna look kind of like that's what's going on. But they're those clear stickers, so I end up putting it on white paper, and then grabbing the other 3 little firework stickers that are on there, put them all on the white paper, and then fussy cut around them. I decided to put the big firework up on a foam strip, so that it will have some dimension right there between the middle picture and the one on the right. So I get that tucked in and situated, and then I fussy cut these other 3 little fireworks, and let's see where I'm at in the video because I'm getting ahead of myself. I am going to fussy cut those. There they are right there in the middle. They're not staying there on top of that picture.
I'm going to fussy cut. I fussy cut them, and I was going to ink around them, but they don't really need it. They stand out very well where I end up putting them, which is the bottom left corner and the bottom of the paper layers. So I get those situated after I get this foam tucked in, and then I make sure to tack down that corner, because once I get the firework on there, it is going to be hard to try and get that down. And so since I don't think I'll be tucking anything else, I feel like it's time for me to take that out from under there. So I put my firework down, and then I put some glue on the back of these three. And like I say, I put them down on the left corner, not in the white at all, right there in the bottom corner of where the two papers are. So now I have taken care of my prompt. I've got the mixed metals. I love the way that the splattering has looked, but I have got to use some firework paper, firework embellishments. I have a ton of them and I need to use them. So I'm going to put this one down here, and then I'm going to hem-haw for a minute or two, and then finally settle on that one there. And they have some shine and shimmer in them, but they also, since they're on top of the mica mist, they've got some shimmer that shines through from that as well. And then I have these two 3D embellishments, and I really want to get these used. Like, I'm worried that these are going to get torn up in my stash because I've taken them out of the packaging, dummy, and taken them out of the little pocket that I had them in my crocodile, or my, crop-in style binder. So I've decided I'm going to find a way to put these two fireworks on here. And I don't want to do too many more fireworks. I've got the 4 on the bottom already, and the 2 that I just laid down. So I really want to try and get these 2 on there. And any more than that, I think it's just going to be, me trying to shove stuff on a page. I will have fireworks again in my life, so I can hold on to the stickers and it'll be fine. So I get this one with the blue top down, and I put it on top of the tag so that that blue stands out, and then I glue down the little orange fuse at the bottom onto the white paper so that it is, visible and not disappearing into the picture, which if I had let it lay itself down, that's where it was ending, was on top of that picture, and you couldn't see it. I decided to put the other one right here on top of the very first picture in the corner, because that's where the title is going to go, and I figure I could incorporate this little firework into that. So I pull out my stickers, and I'm looking for what I could title it, and I really wanted to use this boom as my title, but it's huge, and that blue is not going to stand out on this black star, and there's nowhere else on this page to put it. So I look through my other things, decide I'm going to title the page Ooh and Ah, grab a little bit of scrap of that same red and white stripe and put it down on there. I had to hunt down an ampersand, which is why I cut out a lot of that, so that you didn't have to wait for that. So then I'm going to look at this. I'm going to show some close-ups here in a moment. Oh no, I'm going to put some more of the bronze, I keep forgetting the bronze on there, because that's one of the colors that got mostly covered up. So I get a little bit more and smush it down, put that paper down by underneath there so I don't get it on my mat, and just add a little bit more color. And then I add a little bit more pewter as well, because that's not tinged in blue. And then I put that down on there. And then I'm trying to decide if I need another metal, because these are shiny and shimmery, and I think that they encompass the prompt, but I was thinking more along the lines of some kind of an embellishment. So I pull out, for journaling, I pull out my Tim Holtz and decide to go ahead with the one that has the metallic sticker phrases. So it's black and then they have white, but they have gold writing. So I feel like that's going to pull another metal in. And I pick out 5 different phrases. One that says shine brightly, One says make it count. One says shine like the stars. One says my favorite part, and one says brilliant. And I just put those in a staggering line down at the bottom right underneath the 3D firework. And once I get those down there, I am trying to decide if I want to add anything else. And I feel like I want something else. I mean, this layout is already super busy, but I'm feeling like I want some more shine and shimmer. So I pull out these Crafter Square gemstone designs. And I'm going to have those in my hand in just a moment, because as soon as I get these things laid down, it's cut straight to it to cut out my hunting them down. So there's some goldish and silverish stars. And I cluster 3 of them at the top of the right side, 3 at the bottom, and then I get some of the pre-designed stars and put them, you only see me put one on the bottom of the left, underneath the, between the 2 pictures. I later add another one above the 2 pictures and a bigger one up by the tag. So I will have pictures when I post online and on my Instagram account as well that have the final page with all of the clusters. So I'm looking at it. I'm going to show you the close-ups, and then I'm going to be done. So I hope you all have a great week and a wonderful day, and I hope you get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. Have an awesome rest of the weekend, and happy scrapping.